There's no place like London. No, there's no place like London. Mr. Todd, you are young. Life has been kind to you. You will learn. You are young. You are young. You will learn. You are young. You are young. You will learn. Came when the young. You are young. You will learn. Check out. You are young. You are young. Tell them kiddies I'm a made man.
I'm back, bitches. Alright, boys. It's been an eventful few weeks. Since I last spoke to you, Andre Villas-Boas has been sacked. Um, with Robbie Di Matteo uh, selected to be the interim manager. Since then, Robbie Di Matteo has hired Eddie Newton to be his number two, and together those two have shored up the Chelsea defense, and we're now playing as a team with spirit. Great results like Napoli, like Benfica, but we're still struggling domestically. But importantly, what I wanted to point out was that I really do not like all this slagging off of Andre Villas-Boas. Um, a young man, 33 years old, uh, which is young to take on the Chelsea job, which I believe is the hardest job in the country to take, to keep anyway. Though Roberto Di Matteo has done brilliantly in his time. He showed that tactically he's got the bottle. He's got a little something under his cap. And he's basically what he's done is he's just shored up the ship a bit, which is great and given us hopes, renewed hopes for Europe. Um, and we're also in the FA Cup semi-final. We have a London derby with Tottenham, who in our last league match we drew 0-0. But I mean, what was I saying? I don't believe it's fair on the media. It's fair from the media and for former players to publicly slag off the manager. I think it's terrible, and it shows terrible lack of professionalism. Because, at 33, most of these people who've had all these things to say, um, couldn't have handled the job at 33. All right, most people couldn't keep the Chelsea job. It takes a special character to come in and to boss the players. We all know about player power, rah 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 rah. But I think that AVB actually, although the results didn't go for him, he was the one to to start the changes, to usher out this generation that's coming towards its limelight, and to usher in a new generation. And perhaps he could have done it had he been a bit more pliable in his craft, and yeah, there was mistakes he made, of course, but you know, to then slag him off and say, "Hey, I just read Fernando Torres' agent saying that he was badly treated by AVB, and that's the reason he didn't do well this season." Come on, Torres. Was it AVB who missed that open chance versus Man United? That was you, wasn't it? Was it AVB who missed several chances, who just at times just couldn't get started? No, that was you, Fernando. You have to remember this, okay? For whatever his faults, when you're on the pitch, you're on the pitch. If you don't do well, you can't then turn around and blame the manager if you're not doing well. Well, why were you not doing well? Were you not professional enough to listen to the plans put out by the manager, by the tactics? the formations. Were you not professional enough to follow those? And I just think, for the media outlets to say these things about Andre Villas-Boas, it's in poor taste. It's what it is. Regardless of your feelings on the man, it's in terrible taste. But anyway, since then, thankfully, Roberto Di Matteo has come. He steadied the ship, got us a great result at Benfica. The lads went out and worked very hard. And I thought the one thing to be taken from his selections is the fact that he knows that fourth place is still the most important thing. That's why the likes of Lampard, Essien, Sturridge, Drogba, Cahill, we're all rested. Because this weekend against Villa, we need to win basically every league match between now and the end of the season. Won't happen, but that's what we need to try and do. And I think that it sends a clear message to me that that the position in the league is just as important as the Champions League. Um, and I think that's great. But this weekend, we'll see if we can get 3 points. Maybe Tottenham slip up or Arsenal slip up, and we're in. You got to keep the old fingers crossed. Um, but I also want to speak on the Chelsea board. Ron Gourlay and Bruce Bach. Um, you guys are fucking useless. Absolutely fucking useless. You fire Carlo Ancelotti, a two-time Champions League finalist, a one-time Champions League winner as a player. You fire him. I mean, what wrong did Carlo Ancelotti ever do? He was undermined severely by the management at Chelsea. All right, and then Roman spends 24 million pounds in hiring and firing Andre Villas-Boas. 15 million to get him from Porto, 9 million to send him on his way. Does that make any sense to you guys? Am I the only Chelsea supporter out there who thinks this is foolish? I don't know. Anyway, perhaps I'm just going off the boil and call it a rant. But Jesus, I mean, what what role do you guys play? I mean, what do you guys actually do at the club? Do you manage the books? Because we're recording losses each year. You don't manage the players. You don't actually. I mean, what is it that you do? Are you the ones advising Roman Abramovich? If you are, you've advised him to make some very poor decisions in the past. You really have. Um, and I just think something needs to change upstairs for Chelsea. Um, Perhaps get a guy. I mean, I don't know. Like, let me know. I mean, and now it's all our transfer targets. The thing you have to understand, love or hate AVB, he had the top scouting network in the world. AVB has the 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 number of all these players who you would have never heard of, the likes of Igor Lechnowsky, the Chilean defender that he's been interested in, all the Barca B players, and AVB was recently seen at a Barcelona B match. I think last week it was that he was seen at one of these matches. We need to keep the players that he set out and was interested in. We need to keep those players in mind. Uh, you know, Rafinha, Alcantara. Uh, what was the other one? Sergi Roberto, Mark Bartra, Martin Montoya, Gerard Deulofeu. We need to keep those contacts because I do think that he's an excellent scouter. Excellent, and he has an excellent network of scouts. And he'll be the next boss of Inter, and he will lead the changes that enter. Um, and we'll see. I wish him. I wish him the best of luck. Honestly, I know he worked extremely hard. He was always there, and he was the first one there, last one to leave. He was always buried under paperwork and DVDs, and the Chelsea players' nickname for him was DVD because he was always making them watch videos of other teams. I find that kind of funny because I can actually imagine them calling him DVD. Oh, Drogba, John Terry. Anyway, just wanted to have a rant because the media, you guys are just such assholes. Anyone who will publicly make fun of AVB, a manager, just for getting sacked out of his job, not being given time to impose the changes he was brought in to impose, it makes zero sense. And the media slag him off because, well, they're the media, okay? Um, but I think former players now coming out slagging him off, I don't think that's right either. You know, I don't know. I feel as if that's also in poor taste. To say, oh, things are great now. I fucking hated that other guy who was here. You know what I mean? It's things gotta stay in house. I believe more things have to stay in house because at the moment, it's like all of we're airing our dirty laundry in the fucking street. Pretty, is what it seems. But this summer will be quite interesting in the transfer market. I'm not sure if Roberto Di Matteo will get the job full time. In his time here, he won 2-0 at Birmingham. It was, let me think, it was FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup. So he won 2-0 at Birmingham, 1-0 at Stoke, 4-1 at Napoli, 5-2 at Leicester, then lost 2-1 at City, and then drew 0-0 at Tottenham. And I thought the game versus City, we kind of just ran out of steam because we did so well in the first 65, 70 minutes to keep them at bay because City have no width and everything is played through the center. All of their wingers or their supposed wingers are players who like to come in. Nasri, Silva, Aguero, they all just like to go from outside in. Johnson and Milner are I guess they're true main wingers, but Johnson and Milner, Mancini likes to play inside, and Johnson, he doesn't like to play at all, so, that works. So it makes City, I think, a lot easier when you're thinking about defending them. It makes them a bit easier to manage. Man United, I hope you guys have another Munich air disaster. I really do. I hate all of you. I know it's not the type of thing one should say, but fuck that. But I will leave you with Great Tam. I'm a big organist, just destroying him, but I ain't there of me destroying him, just Floyd him in 8 rounds.